Hope everybody's doing great tonight. I haven't been on live in a while. Hey, Pastor Michelle, how are you? Hey, Tiffany Nicole. Hey. Haven't been on here in a minute. Oh, there she goes. So now let me see if I can. Oh, she's here. Excellent. We are right on time. We're waiting for Sakile to join. There she goes. Hey, lady.
Hey, how are you, gorgeous?
I am doing well. Just trying to be as gorgeous as you.
Oh, thank you. Reflection of you. So how are you feeling today, Andrea?
You know, I was just a friend of mine that complaining is so first quarter. So we're over that. We have big things to focus on, to think about. So doing great. How about you?
Awesome. I'm doing amazing. Phenomenal to be here with you and all of your beautiful family members. So I'm excited.
Yes, I'm excited. Let's jump right in. So I want to introduce, and I am going to do a very brief intro to Miss Sakile, right?
Yeah.
Of Embrace Your Free. She has a world schooling program, and she teaches parents to use the world as their
classroom,
and travel and earn while they're traveling, right?
Absolutely.
So I'm fascinated. I also with you, which I have not shared with you, but I will share it with you once you give your fuller introduction. Sakile is a wife of 22 years.
Yes.
A mother of 6 kids.
Yes.
And she graduated undergrad summa cum laude.
Yeah, summa cum laude.
About your undergrad institution?
Yeah, so I went to Eastern Illinois for undergrad and graduated in business administration. So, hey, business was it for me. Like, so I was little, I knew I was going to be a business owner. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I ended up graduating with a 3.989. I got 1B in undergrad when my marketing class, of all classes, I had horrible morning sickness. And the teacher pulled me to the side. She was just like, if you don't want to take the final, we'll just give you a B. But if you want to show up, get an A or B or C, you get an A in the class, whatever. And I'm like, I'll pass. I'll take the B.
I'm not mad at you for that. That's phenomenal. You also have a master's degree in education?
Yes, I went to Chicago State University in Illinois for education. So it was art education and regular education. So my degree. So, yeah.
So one of the things I have been fascinated with is parents who are struggling with the thought of going back to school with these COVID numbers still on the rise, and teachers struggling with going back into a classroom and being exposed. So the topic of homeschooling has come up so many times. In fact, some of my classmates from Columbia Business School started a school pod in Westchester County, and clearly it is for wealthy parents. And so there was a lot of, clapback around that. But the reality is that people who can will. That's just the reality. So tell us a little bit more about why you started your program, how you came to start it, and about the program itself.
Oh, absolutely. So I've been homeschooling my children for 16 years. And freedom is so important to me. The name of my company, Embrace Your Free. And being able to educate your own in the way that you desire, sharing your principles and values, I found to be very, very important. I learned that after going to grad school, and learning all this, education, thinking that's what I needed to educate my children. But really, we actually have everything that we need. We typically are the ones that teach our children their language, how to walk, principles, values, and I really, a lot of the mainstream values I did not really want in my home or within my children. So That's how I end up starting off. And then naturally, many other families that saw our children were interested. So I began consulting on homeschooling. And so what I found was a lot of families really wanted the freedom that we had because we actually travel. We're world schoolers. So for the last 12 years, we've been traveling. The last 4 years, we've been 100% nomadic. Well, we travel, 12 months of the year constantly. And we really believe the world is our classroom. So since Embrace Your Free is about freedom, we felt like in order for our families to have this lifestyle, they needed to be able to make money location independently, at home or on the road. And then, many families, they do want to travel, but they want to do it affordably. Many families are like, I'm making 6 figures, but I only can travel once 1 week or 2 weeks a year. How are you doing that? So since I had so many questions, we created a program showing what we learned over the last 20 years in regards to business. My husband, he's a business consultant, so he does the business consulting and coaching. And then my main focus is homeschooling, assessing, working with families, because we don't just teach a particular curriculum. We assess families to see, based on their children's learning style, personality, the parents' teaching style. I'm not the most patient person. So a lot of families are like, what are you doing? And the time that they have, because if you're a business owner, a lot of times you have limited time. So to be able to give your children quality education while you're still running a business or have a money maker, and being able to use the world as your classroom. So we're able to put that together and have great results for our clients.
That's amazing. And I usually shout everybody out when they join. I saw Aisha, I Am the Confidence Coach, join. Saw Pastor Michelle. I saw Joy join. And some other folks. But you know what? I'm going to tell you, I have on my see far away glasses, not my see far up glasses. I cannot read that screen. And I am just getting, coming back live for the first time. This is the first time I have on makeup since January. So you all are going to have to bear with me a little bit. I want to know, so where have you been? You're using the world as your classroom, and where have you traveled?
So with our family, we've been to Ghana, Cote d'Ivoire, we've been to Mexico, Canada, Bahamas, to France. Those are the places we have traveled with our family. And a 50-state tour. So we've done the 50 states in the U.S., which was a lot of fun. Yes. Oh. So that's what we've been doing for the last 4 years. So this was the year that we were supposed to take off, and, COVID happened. And so we still do plan on traveling. My passport just happened to expire this February, and when in March I went to put it in, it took 18 weeks. So I literally just got my passport this week. So now we're getting ready to get our travels up and going.
So I have so many questions. I know that in your bio, you also have done some curriculum for Ghana. And
yes.
So can you share a little bit more about that?
Sure. There was a program with the Chicago State University with the Ghanaian University and the Ghanaian Ministry of Education. And basically, there was a group of us that came together that created culturally relevant textbooks. So basically, the textbooks that they had all had Europeans with European foods and words. And so basically, we created these whole new textbooks in math, language arts, science, and replaced it with books that had people that were Ghanaian, with Ghanaian foods like plantain and bananas and pineapples, with homes they lived in. And so basically we distributed 5 million books. So we were able to go over to Ghana and interview the teachers, which are the principals. They call them head teachers, and the parents, to see how effective the textbook and learning materials were, to see which, tweak, what they thought of it. So it was an amazing program. So we started off with pre-K and kindergarten and then moved to first, second, and third.
That is unbelievable. So that's one of the commonalities that we have, because I also did an internship with my master's program with AID. I was in Sri Lanka.
Nice.
I wrote my thesis there, but I won't bore you with that, but I thought that was pretty cool. So I have to tell you, I am not the most patient. I would like to believe that I'm patient until I'm like, look, I just told you that 2 + 2 = 4. So how do you deal with that, especially with 6 kids? I have to imagine that they all have different learning styles. And I'm like,
Absolutely.
so how do you do that, and how do you coach parents to deal with that?
Okay, great question. So we created this system that actually got some of the bases in grad school. My husband actually went to school for early childhood education, and I went from K through 12. So during that, we took child psychology. That was something that really, really stuck to me. And so from that, we birthed the LIT assessment. Again, the LIT assessment represents the child's learning style, and we call it interpersonal personality attributes, which is basically their personality. And then the parent's teaching style, we assess that. And then also the time that the parent has or the child can actually absorb information before the little brains are full and they need to re-empty and reset. So we assess the families to find out exactly what each child's dynamic is, what the family's dynamic is, and then we create reports for each family member. So a parent can see based on their child's learning style, based on their parenting style, how to interact with their children and how to have the household even set up so that it's most effective and stress-free. So that is like a big piece of what we do is stress-free homeschooling, because a lot of people join the program. They're just like, oh, we want to travel, we want to make money. I don't need that. I've been homeschooling my children for like 10 years. I don't need that. They get the assessments and they're like, that's what I needed. Like, teaching is now so much more efficient and effective. My children are actually learning more. I don't have to spend so much time. So that's pretty much what we do. We do a lot of assessments.
I need an assessment right now because with this COVID quarantine, everybody working from home, like I have zones in my house now. So it's like, this is my work zone, but I probably at any minute, somebody can walk down here and interrupt me, ask me, where's the toilet paper or something like that. I have determined that we need quiet flush toilets in this house. We never knew that we needed before until you have 50 million Zoom meetings. So do you also assess the physical space that people have in order to facilitate like different learning zones, like where you have somebody who's a tactile learner and they need to touch things and play, and somebody who's a talker and needs to talk through things, like, but you need space for each of these kids to learn in their own way. Is that part of your assessment?
That does come out in the assessments, like if your child is a kinesthetic learner and, also with their personality, all the different ways integrate learning for them. If they are, a visual learner versus an auditory learner. And if, their personality likes to be in a group or their personality likes to be by themselves, how to interact and set your environment up for that. So definitely.
Yeah. His Organic Kitchen has the same question that I have. I'm scared to repeat it out loud, but she said, do you work with 24-year-olds?
So, 24-year-old parents that have children? Is that what they're asking?
Parents of 24-year-old children.
Oh, I haven't yet. Now, I have clients who are literally pregnant, like 6 months pregnant that I'm working with, and parents who have 24-year-old children, but they also have like 10-year-old children, but no one who's like their, their only child or their youngest child is 24. We haven't had that yet. So I don't know if you're going to be homeschooling your 24-year-old.
Nikki and I both need that. Lord, no.
But what you can do is if you go to my page and Embrace Your Free, my Instagram page, in the link, I do have a homeschool assessment, one of the assessments I provide, so you can find out what your homeschooling type is.
Okay, good. Oh, Nikki said she volunteers to be first. She volunteers to be first after me. So, now let's talk about the parents who want to travel and who want to expose their kids to the world. I think it's a fantastic idea, and I tried to do that with my son when he was in basketball tournaments. Whenever we would go to a basketball tournament and in a new city, I would say, well, we have to experience the city. We have to learn something. So how do you earn money location independent? Can you give us a few tips on that?
Sure. So again, our program is very customizable, and everything we do is assessing. So like, for instance, when it comes to making money on the road, that portion is my husband's domain. And basically, he created a system calling Making Money on the Move Success System. And basically, what he'll do is he'll assess the business owners or future potential business owners to find out basically what their gifts and talents are, number one. Then what they're passionate about, what their mission is. Then he'll also assess what the world needs from them. So out of the things that they're talented at, either talents that they're passionate about, what does the world need from them right now? And then what the world is willing to pay them for. And so he helps them come up with a location independent business based on that. So again, we do a lot of assessments. One of the things that I noticed that a lot of the families that I work with do come in with 3, 4, 5 businesses. And so what my husband does is he's definitely a minimalist. So he helps you focus on the one moneymaker that you can get up and going efficient and effectively and get money in your pocket immediately. And then from there, once that's up and going and maybe automated, then you can focus on another moneymaker or investment opportunity, but focus on getting one really solid before moving on to something else. Because I tell my students, a lot of you, and I've been that, confusing busyness with success. And so we'll be like an octopus with skates on going nowhere fast. And so at one point I had many businesses, and now I condensed it down to one. And so I was going from, $200 from this business a month, $300 from this, $1,000 from this business, but altogether it wasn't very much. And I was very stressed out and very busy. Now I have one business that's consistently making $20,000 to $25,000 a month. And now, we're getting that. My husband's helping me getting that automated to the point now we'll be investing. So.
Okay, cool. So can you give us a couple of success stories, just people that you've worked with, and maybe a little bit of details about what they did? I'm just curious about what that looks like.
Absolutely. So, for instance, one of my students, Shani, if you're here, shout out to Shani. So she came in and she actually had multiple businesses too. So we helped her focus on one business, which was her Amazon business that she actually had in over 5 locations in Europe. So when she came in, she doing negative because even though she was having some sales, between the cost of storage and this and that thing, every month she was in the negative. Now, after working with her, getting her mission together, getting her focus, cutting out the fats, now she's actually making positive income every month. I just talked to her the other day. She was like, oh my God, I'm in the positive for the 5th month in a row since we started working together. So that is one thing, just helping her streamline, focus, and get it up and going. So now she's in the positive and making money instead of paying out of pocket.
And so, and she travels with her kids.
Yeah. She travels. before, COVID, she was going back and forth to Asia and other places. And I was able to give her, part of it is affordable ways to travel. So now she's just like, I'm going to travel more because I can really stretch my budget. So I'm actually working with her now to help her create some really inexpensive travel opportunities for her family. So I'm really excited about that. Another family member that's a success story is Krista. Again, she came in multiple businesses, and what she didn't understand, her children also had businesses, and she didn't understand that her children's businesses were actually her businesses. So I'm like, her children may be the face, but she's doing all this work. And then she was trying to do all these other things. So again, helping her streamline and see what business it is that she wanted to focus on. So we did a lot of work on her focus and goals and getting clear of what she was working to create. And so now, she's really been focusing on her daughter's business, and it has generated so much more income now that she's not so dispersed. Because 1 minute she's like, okay, we'll go into it, and then she's like, no, I need to focus on that. And okay, then I'm going to focus on this business. I'm going to focus on that. So now she kind of honed it in, and now her profits have gone up, where she was just like, oh, I have to restock my Etsy store. It's sold out. So it's really awesome. And I also have another student who didn't have a business, and she just started a coaching consulting business where she does spiritual consultation online on the phone. And so, so if you are already a business owner, we help you. If you don't have a business, we help you get that up and running.
The one thing that I did not know is that you also help people with low-cost travel. How does that work?
Yeah, so basically, over the last 12 years, we have, basically there were some deaths and stuff that happened in our family that really was like, okay, I'm not going to wait until, everything's lined up. I have $100,000 in the bank to start traveling, right? So basically, when we went full time traveling, our business was making $2,000 a month. Okay, so $2,000 a month. A family of 8, we were able to travel all over the U.S. And so all the tips and all the things that we learned from other world schoolers and that we've learned from experience, we share it with the families and the members of our group so that they can travel. I show them how to stay at beautiful resorts for, $200 to $300 a week, which means resorts that have horseback riding included, golf courses, basketball, movie theaters, activities for the children. We even have families that have zero budget. So there are ways that we have traveled where the room and board was covered, the location and the food was covered, and so we just had to pay for gas. And so we teach a variety of different ways to travel really inexpensively. Go ahead.
I can't imagine that you came to New York on that $2,000 a month for a family of 8.
Oh, we did. We went to New York every year for the last 4 years, except for this year.
Oh, wow. Oh,
yeah.
You have to tell me that, because I can just move. So you know what? I have so many questions. I don't want to hog up all the time. I want to know if anybody here has any questions, and hopefully I can read them. I think Instagram did something with my font, because I think it's just my glasses. I think it's also the font is, maybe if you can read them, I swear. But
absolutely. If I see them, let's see. I can't really scroll. But if anything, let me see, comes up, I'll read it.
Okay. Let's see. Well, if nobody else has questions, I still have more questions. I'll keep asking. Sure. Maybe people are typing. We talked about the traveling. Oh, I see a question, but I can't read it. I know it's Aisha.
I think kids being able to travel is the best teacher. Absolutely. That is a model that, world schoolers believe that there's no better education than having the world as your classroom. The world is the best teacher.
It is. And you can say, like, well, I remember when I was in the Sistine Chapel, the tour guides, Michelangelo's, whatever. So instead of just reading about it in the book, it gets real. So there's another question which I can't read. How do we get
started right away? And what is the investment? I love it. So in order for you to get started, number one, you can either inbox me at embraceyourfree.com or not embraceyourfree.com, embraceyourfree, the handle at embraceyourfree, or on Facebook, at Sakile. What else? How else can you, if you go to the guide that I give in my link, there's a way for you to connect. And the investment is different prices. So it depends on what your goals are and what you're looking to do. We have different prices. So, before we get started, we actually qualify to make sure that you are a good fit for us to work with. And then from there, we lay out the different options. So, but we do make it affordable for all different types of families. I even have one family that's in transition living in hotels, and they were able to make it work, and unemployed families, military families that get paid once a month. So yeah, we make it work, but it is an investment.
So somebody, I can't read the name, said, what if you don't have a business? I know you answered that, but can you repeat your answer?
Yeah. So for those who do not have a business, we help you discover what your moneymaker is that's location independent. So we do a variety of assessments, again, to find out what your gifts and talents are, what your mission and purpose is, what the world wants from you, what they're willing to pay for, and create a location independent opportunity for you. So everything is customized to you. So hopefully I answered that question.
Somebody says, I have been trying to own business with, I can't see that. Can you see?
Let's see if I can scrap. Oh, no. Okay, let's see. Yes, I've been trying to start my own business with crocheting clothes and purses. Yes, so we do have some family members that do have Etsy store. We actually have a young lady that is in the program right now who does crocheting. So we're going to be working with her once we get to that portion of the program to help her take her business to the next level. So we definitely work with families in the crafts. So, you're welcome. Can I apply for grants? So I don't offer any grants right now. So I'm not sure what the grant is about. So
yeah, maybe question come back, or maybe ask it away so that we can understand. So Nikki says, how can we
take the lit test? Yeah. So the lit assessment, I do provide one portion of it, not the whole system for my members. But if you want to get a taste of it and get your homeschooling assessment, which is part of the lit assessment, you just go to my Instagram page. If you click on the link, it will take you to assessment. So it'll give you a quick assessment to let you know what your ideal homeschooling style is and some information on it. So, yeah.
All right. So we're at 7:30. Gosh, that goes so quickly. This was such a good conversation. Maybe we should do it again on Facebook.
Absolutely. That would be a lot of fun. I'm down.
Can you, one more, everybody, let them know how to find you and how to find more about your program, your assessment, and all of that stuff.
Okay. I want to offer you guys a free guide. So if you go to embraceyourfree.com, the same thing as my name, you can get a free 5 keys to successful world schooling. I just updated it last week with all the latest information. So it's about a 10-page report that gets pretty detailed about some things to successfully world school. So if you want to go to assessments, again, visit at Embrace Your Free, click in the bio. You can take that assessment. Also, feel free to inbox me if you have any questions, if you're interested in more information. And then once you get your guide, all the information for more detailed information how to contact me will be on the guide. So again, embraceyourfree.com.
That was amazing. Thank you.